Like, that's a bit dramatic.
Hold up.
Hey guys, my name is Shelby Downey and welcome back, or to my channel if this is the first time you're here. Hello. I have been saying I'm gonna make this video in such a long time and I just haven't made it yet until today. So today's video is going to be how to look after your tattoo and the aftercare procedure, pretty much. Your tattoo artist should tell you how to look after your tattoo, okay? Every tattoo artist has a slightly different variation of how to look after their tattoo that they did for you. And the reason why is that we all tattoo differently. So therefore, our aftercare for our tattoos will vary slightly. It shouldn't be a big variant though. So yeah, there's a few things that are like a huge no-no. I will go through those, but in general they should still pretty much be like roughly the same, little bit of like variant to it. So first of all, I'm going to tell you guys how I tell my clients to look after the tattoos I do for them. Then I'll get into a few other different types of aftercare and then tell you kind of what definitely not to do. Okay, so after I tattoo, I leave it for a few minutes just to kind of rest, let the redness calm down, let any plasma expel, anything like that. Then I wash it thoroughly and I apply a little bit of the Fly Shield processed butter onto it, and then I wrap it up with some sterilized cling film. Then I wrap it up because I've tattooed you, right? So there's open skin, therefore it's subject to bacteria. So the wrapping helps just keep it clean, as well as it tricks the skin into thinking it's already formed a scab. So leave that on for 2 hours. They're going to take that off and they're going to get some unscented soap. Otherwise, like Dove is fine as well. Even though it is fragranced, it's a very gentle soap. So I normally tell them unfragranced if possible, but Dove or Protex or Dettol, as long as it's a gentle soap, that will be fine as well. They will then lather that up in their hands to make a foam, and they're going to circular motion wash the tattoo and the skin around. The reason I tell them to wash the skin around as well, so let's say like, okay, I'm just going to use this one. This is the new tattoo. They need to wash all the way around over there, because while I'm wiping, obviously there's a little bit of ink going into the pores and stuff. So obviously I wash it thoroughly and make sure that most of that is out. But sometimes there might be a little bit of residual ink there. You obviously are just cleaning it extra safe. You know, it's open skin. You don't want anything to happen to your tattoo. It's a work of art. It's an investment. You need to look after it. So just give it a good wash. Obviously, don't, like, if you have something over here, you don't have to wash your entire arm. Like, that's a bit dramatic. But just make sure, like, the general area is nice and clean. So when you wash your tattoo for the first time after taking the wrap off, it is going to be so slimy and gooey and gross. That is so normal, okay? There might even be like a little bit of like white residue, completely normal. That's your plasma, that is your white blood cells pretty much oxidizing, mixing with the cream. So that is super normal. If that happens, don't be afraid or don't be worried, anything like that. What is very important though, is that you wash all of that slimy plasma completely off. If you don't, it's gonna dry out, form a scab, pull the ink out with it, and chance of infection is high. You need to wash it until all of that slime plasma is completely off. So I produce a lot of plasma. So what I normally tell my clients to is give it a wash, give it a rinse with some lukewarm water, nothing too hot or too cold that's going to shock like the skin, but just something nice and like soothing. Give it a rinse and repeat that process 2-3 times. So the washing and rinsing process. Once all of the slime is completely off, and you'll know that it's all off because if you take some water and you kind of like touch over it, it doesn't feel slimy anymore, and there won't be any like shine to it in light, I guess. So once all of the slime is completely off and it's clean, they are going to let it air dry. So why I suggest air drying is because of bacteria and fiber. Some towels give off microscopic fiber, which you don't want that getting stuck on your tattoo, as well as just bacteria in general. So yeah, air dry for a few minutes. Don't like blow dry it or anything, just leave it to like air a little bit. Then once it is air dried and it is dry, you're going to wash your hands again to make sure they're clean, and then you're going to apply a little bit of aftercare onto it. So I like to wet heal my tattoos. I'll get into the different kinds of that later on in this video, but basically I like my clients to put cream on so that their skin doesn't have the time to dry out and potentially crack. Because I have very sensitive skin, and I've tried dry healing tattoos before on my skin. It does not work. Wet healing works. If you dry heal your tattoos and it works for you, by all means do that. But in general, my tattoos heal better if you wet heal them. So you are going to apply a tiny amount of cream on, just enough cream so that it stays moisturized but doesn't smother the skin. Essentially, you don't want to wet the skin so much so that the ink swims out. It's not what happens, but it's a really good mental picture. So just a tiny amount of cream on, less is more. Rather put on too little and it gets a little bit dry and you can reapply later, than put on too much and you end up just soaking your tattoo. You don't want to soak it, okay? So a tiny little bit of cream on with your clean hands, and then you're going to try leave it as open as possible. So why as open as possible? Well, firstly, bacteria and fiber. Secondly, the more oxygen it gets, the better and quicker your skin is going to recover and heal. So in general, the first 3 days are your most crucial. That's when the skin is still in like, I just went through trauma stage, and it's kind of figuring out like what's happening, how do I heal, what's going on, all that kind of stuff. So your first 3 days are your most crucial, right? But it takes a full month, full 4 weeks to actually completely heal. So you're gonna wash that tattoo a minimum of 3 times a day. So in the morning, in the afternoon, and in the evening. Every time you wash it, you are gonna let it air dry, and then you're going to apply a little bit of cream onto it with clean hands once the tattoo is completely dry. And you're gonna avoid any clothing that is going to chafe or cause any kind of friction onto it. And the reason being is that the tattoo ink, right, the pigment doesn't stain your skin. The particles of the pigment settle into the skin in the little holes we've made. So you don't want anything to cause any friction that is going to cause like, I won't say vibration, but that it's going to, particles are going to move. You don't want that. So you want to try avoid anything that has friction, just anything like that. No bacteria, no friction, no fiber. Okay, so nice soft flowy clothing, nothing too hectic. I also advise that you avoid sport for about a week, purely because it's still trying to settle in your skin. So if you're straining your muscle while the ink is trying to like settle, there's a chance that well, it's gonna get infected because of all your sweat and the nastiness, but also the particles. So we want to try and avoid anything like that, right? So no exercise if you can for a week, or minimum at least of 4 days. After about a week, depending on how quickly your skin regenerates, it normally starts flaking. Now the flaking is a good sign. It means your new dermal layer is starting to grow over. So while the flaking part is happening, you're going to carry on washing it and carry on creaming it. When all the flakiness completely stops and it's like kind of normal skin again, you can ease off the washing, because then there's no more open skin, so no more bacteria can like get into it. But just wash it when you're in the shower, that kind of stuff. Speaking of shower, you guys are going to carry on showering and all that jazz, right? You're not going to not get it wet. You need to get it wet to wash it. You're just not going to submerge it and soak it in water. So no bathing with it, like completely submerged underwater, swimming, anything like that. Don't go swimming with a fresh tattoo, guys, please. Oh my gosh, I get this question so many times. You cannot swim in the ocean with a fresh tattoo, and you cannot swim in a pool with a fresh tattoo. Don't do it, okay? Please don't, just don't. So anyway, after stop flaking, you can just wash it when you're in the shower and stuff, but you're going to carry on creaming it for the full 3.5 to 4 weeks, okay? Because it enters something that I personally call onion skin. A lot of other tattoo artists call it silver skin. You know when you peel an onion and it has that like transparent, like silvery kind of layer? That's what's happening to your skin, okay? A new dermal layer has grown over, but there's no pigment yet. So if you have black ink, it's going to look a weird, like silvery, shiny color. That is super normal. Don't be afraid of that, okay? That's super normal. It just means that that new layer of skin hasn't gained its pigmentation yet. So you continue to put on cream to encourage that pigmentation to kind of regroup in the dermis, I guess. So yeah, you need to put on cream for a full month, okay? I get so many like clients sometimes that I'll explain this to, and then 2 weeks later, and just because it feels like normal skin again, they're like, oh my gosh, it's not black. Give it that full 4 weeks. It needs to settle and resurface, okay? So it will be black, don't stress. But yeah, so full 4 weeks of creaming it, and then if it needs a touch-up or whatever, then by all means, but you have to wait for the full 4 weeks until you see the final result of what the tattoo actually looks like healed on your skin. Yeah, so that's pretty much my aftercare summary, what I tell my clients. So you get wet healing, which I like to do, and then you get dry healing, where you pretty much just leave it be. You don't put any cream on it, anything like that. I personally, I can't. I've dried healed on myself before. I don't like it because your skin is so tight and it feels like it's cracking the whole time, and it's really uncomfortable, and it's just not nice. What's nice about, for me, wet healing is that it feels moisturized, so it doesn't feel like hard and like sore and tender and just like you know when you have dry skin and it just feels like stiff. When you wet heal it, it doesn't do that. When you dry heal it, it does do that, especially when there's like scabs forming. It's not nice. It's just not nice. But some tattoo artists prefer to dry heal their tattoos. So if your tattoo artist tells you to dry heal your tattoo and dry healing works for you, then do it. I personally know that dry healing on my skin does not work. As soon as that scab forms, that ink comes out. So it does not work on my skin. My skin is way too sensitive for that. So yeah, dry healing in summary is just you leave your skin to do its thing, pretty much. Which I don't like, because like it's an open wound. You need to look after it and make sure it's like looked after, you know what I mean? Then the third kind of aftercare that a lot of people do, especially in America, is second skin. Now, second skin is also called a few other things. You get hydrofilm, you get dermaplast. There's a few different names for it. Basically, it's an adhesive clear sticker that you just, well, I wouldn't say a sticker, like a plaster, that burn like victims and stuff use as well. And like when you have like adhesions, stitches, then you put that on to like help, and it's waterproof and stuff. So a lot of the time some tattoo artists will put like this clear adhesive sticker, plaster, I don't know why I keep calling it a sticker, over the tattoo, and you'll keep that on for a full 5 days. Like you don't take it off for 5 days, and it looks so nasty and disgusting, and it looks like all the ink is coming out and like pooling, and like you can mush the ink around. It's really gross. And then you peel it off after 5 days, and it's like the tattoo is healed, because the adhesive plaster basically acts like a scab, pretty much. So that's kind of another way to do it. I have had some clients of mine heal their tattoos with the hydrofilm or the second skin, and it's come out stunning. I've had other clients that have had allergic reaction to it. So if you have used one before and it works for you, by all means, but make sure you test it out first, not on your tattoo. So even if you just get like a small one and you just stick it on you somewhere and you leave that on for a few days, like test it out, because the allergic reaction to that adhesive is not a fun thing, let me tell you. Also, my battery is gonna die. I'm the worst at this. Like, oh, I'm the worst at this. Anyway, we're back. So the main thing, I guess, is just do what your tattoo artist tells you, because they know how their tattoo will respond to what healing. Oh, also, the products that I use, I recommend that my clients use. So there's two main ones, but the main one is Flash Heal, which is a local South African brand. It's all vegan, all natural, and all proceeds go to animal shelter, which is phenomenal. And the other one, which is also an all vegan one, is Balm, and it's like in a little shot. It's called Balm Shots. But yeah, both vegan, both fantastic, all natural, which is incredible. Don't be using any chemicals on your skin, especially because it's cut open. Also, a huge no-no, which I forgot to mention, is Bactroban. Don't use Bactroban, don't use Vaseline to heal your tattoos. It's not okay. You're going to smother it, and there's chemicals in Bactroban, like lard. You're putting fat into your open wound, and there's a chemical in there that turns the pigment like a greeny blue color. So don't do it. Don't do it. Those are two like the real no. Oh, no sun. Definitely no sun at all until it's fully healed, and then sunscreen. And what else? Oh, no swimming. I touched on that just now. And yeah, that's pretty much. Just listen to your tattoo artist. Don't do anything dumb. Like, just don't. Like, treat it like a baby. Yeah. But yeah, I hope you guys found this video like educational, I guess, and entertaining, I guess, and I hope it's helped you. So if it has, please make sure to give this video a thumbs up. It is now dark outside and I'm gonna go have a cup of tea. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and please make sure you subscribe to my channel. It would mean the world to me, and I'll see you guys soon with a new video. Okay, bye.
Hold up.